The Artist Residence in Brighton, a 9-bedroom B&B run by 21-year-old full-time student Justin Salisbury.
Hello, Artist Residence.
The seaside hotel was bought by Justin's mother, who planned to run it herself. But a serious accident left her incapacitated and the business in trouble.
Things were very bad. When they took out the lease on this, it cost a fair amount of money. You couldn't just leave it dormant.
Dutiful son Justin stepped into the breach, bringing with him a radical plan to save the family business.
The aim is to create an environment which is full of art in every single way.
He created a unique art hotel, decorated and staffed by up-and-coming young artists.
Yeah, that's great. When would you be checking in?
In return for their services, they get accommodation at the hotel, a small wage, and the freedom to be creative.
They live here and they work here. They can use the space, to do whatever they need to do, as long as we can operate the hotel.
During the week, the artists are left to fend for themselves, while Justin studies for a business degree in London, only putting in an appearance at weekends. But after 1 year's trading, his business plan is looking decidedly sketchy.
I almost had to stop doing this business. The hotel has been running at a loss.
The hotel has been slammed by guests, describing it as worse than a squat, a disaster, and labelling it the worst hotel in Brighton. Not surprisingly, occupancy levels are dismal.
Near zero, basically. It's just about staying alive, really. There's so much stuff at stake here.
The family business is hanging by a thread. The Artist Residence is in desperate need of a renaissance. In a last bid for survival, Justin has called on the hotel inspector. Alex Polizzi has run some of the most exclusive establishments in the world. But turning this fledgling business around won't be easy.
First impressions are not great. It's pretty grubby. The glass on the front door is absolutely dingy, it's filthy. Then you've got this truly repulsive, elongated heads. There is also a flying squirrel who looks as if he's in extreme pain. That has got to go. I mean, I would look at that and turn and flee if I was coming to check in here.
The entrance is less than entrancing, a world away from the boutique hotel that the Artist Residence aspires to be.
Justin?
Hi.
Alex,
nice to meet you. Come in, please.
Thank you so much.
To really understand what's dragging the hotel down, Alex will stay the night. The hotel has a gallery space that doubles as a breakfast room and 9 ensuite bedrooms, which have all been individually designed by a different artist.
Can I help you with your bag, please?
Thank you. Lovely.
What's your impressions?
Quite overwhelming, actually.
Okay.
Alex is booked into room 5, a double priced at £80 a night.
Thank you.
This is our original artist-inspired bedroom.
Okay. Very interesting. Says me not quite sure what to say. This goes against every kind of basic rule of hotel rooms, which is that they should be calming.
But you'll be surprised how many people do like it.
It's certainly interesting.
Yes. Here's your key.
Thank you.
Take it.
Actually, the art has very little to do about why I find the room unacceptable. The furniture has nothing to do with anything that's on the walls, and so there are these collection of disparate objects. I mean, who on earth thinks that this is a good idea with that on the walls? What on earth is that bottle with shells on doing on that chair? The curtains, floral curtains in this very modernist room, and these repulsive Egyptian cushions. I'm really struggling with this as an idea.
The medley of junk and mismatched furniture is upstaging the art. As Alex probes deeper, she finds a similar story.
These things just do not belong together, and that is what's upsetting. It feels that no one with any eye has actually made any effort to make it harmonious.
The artist residence website promises a boutique hotel experience. But so far, Alex has found it's failed to live up to its billing.
Well, this room looks half finished. It is, however, actually a letting room. Once again, you've got a completely inappropriate bedspread. Everywhere looks slightly dirty, slightly tacky. I mean, look at that light. It's absolutely filthy. Well, if he was selling the rooms for 15 quid a night and so young teenage runaways could stay here, I'm sure they'd be perfectly happy. But that is not the market that he's appealing to. What else can I say? On your website, you mentioned the word boutique 3 times. That's not the impression I got. Certainly, as a hotelier, it would not be what I consider to be boutique.
But I think if you ask the average person that goes to stay in a hotel once in a while, if you ask them the definition of boutique hotel, I think they would just think it's a hotel that's slightly different.
No, they wouldn't.
No?
They would think it's an extremely top-end environment. People expect a certain level of cleanliness, hospitality, of course friendliness, but I think that you should not call yourself a boutique hotel because you're immediately disappointing people the moment that they walk through that front door.
As the light drains from the brightened sky, so does Alex's confidence in Justin.
Justin just isn't capable of doing this. He thinks he has this great, wonderful concept, but he hasn't been able to execute it properly. Don't even get me started on the boutique hotel tag. I don't think that people would even want to spend £20 a night to stay here. There is no guiding principle, and that is what every hotel needs.
The artist residence, a once traditional B&B on the Brighton seafront. 21-year-old student Justin Salisbury leapt to the rescue of the struggling family-owned hotel after his mother had a serious accident.
Hello, artist residence. I can't actually help you with that because we haven't uploaded the system.
But his radical plan to save the business by turning it into a trendy art hotel, staffed entirely by live-in artists, is backfiring badly.
Can you put them somewhere better?
The artist residence has been described as the worst hotel in Brighton, and occupancy rates are dire.
It's more of actually trying to get anyone in.
I almost had to stop doing this business.
Things were very bad.
Justin is counting on award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi to help him revive the family fortunes.
There's so much stuff at stake here. It's just about staying alive, really.
She's discovered a hotel that's more dirty than arty.
Look at that light. It's absolutely filthy. I'm really struggling with this as an idea.
After a night's sleep in room 5, Alex is even more convinced that Justin's art hotel isn't worthy of the name.
Woke up this morning and I thought I would make myself a cup of tea. However, when faced with this, I decided against it. That's so monkey. This isn't just lack of housekeeping, it's real disrespect of a paying guest who comes into this room.
Next on the agenda, Alex will sample breakfast served in the ground floor public space intended to double as an art gallery.
This here is our Kandinsky-inspired breakfast. As you may all know, Kandinsky is a very famous artist, and he lived off tea and toast and cereal. Generally, I think people in my age category, i.e. the 20s, they prefer to come down, make some toast, have some cereal, and have nothing really too spectacular.
But it seems the guests disagree. The minimalist breakfast has been described as rubbish and derisory.
So this is the Kandinsky-inspired breakfast, which seems to mean very cheap supermarket bread. So a few canisters of cereals, orange juice, help yourself to tea and coffee. I must say I would think that most people who come to Brighton would expect a bit more than this, especially if they're paying £80 a room.
Alex has seen enough.
Eating bread like this is like eating air.
It's time to confront Justin with a few home truths.
She can have her opinion, that's fine. If she doesn't like something, that's fine by me. But I will defend the artist corner with all my might.
The epicentre of Alex's discontent is one of the £80 a night rooms, so she drags Justin there to read him the riot act.
Right, well, the first thing I have to say to you is actually, I think it's quite a nice idea. It's a shame you're doing it so bloody badly. I have no problem at all with the actual art. I have a problem with the fact that you're trying to combine that art with these cupboards. I have a problem with that repulsive shell bottle there, the mask that's down on the floor, with the fact that you have these kind of floral curtains that look like they belong in a bedsit. Look, I mean, you know, you've got half a wardrobe down here, a little bit of coving down there. This is all falling apart.
Yeah.
The bloody lights don't work.
I haven't had a lot of money to spend on this. It's been on what I've earned, I've managed to spend. So I think based on what, you know, the budget I've had, I think it's okay.
But there's such discord in this room that actually this feels very much like a student flat. I have no argument with the art, actually. I just think you're doing the art a disservice. And I think you're doing the artists a disservice.
Well, I disagree that I'm doing the disservice at all, really, because it's controversial. You're obviously quite incensed about the whole room, and that's the aim as well. There's a certain amount of controversy that I want to build up in people staying here.
This is just lazy. This isn't controversial,
this is what we're talking about, is practically wise, fixing the few bits that are broken in here.
If you're going to make this concept work, it has to be much sharper.
Justin has a steady stream of excuses.
I hate all this.
But Alex is determined to break through.
Opinion.
Okay, this room, which has so many nice elements, it's really frustrating because obviously there's been some thought has gone into it, but actually in a really slapdash, kind of careless way. You've got that tiny lampshade on that rather nice lamp base with a red light in it. The light in the bathroom doesn't work. Everything is filthy.
It's difficult for me doing full-time student and coming in to check the petty things. I'm sure you'll agree with me.
You keep saying that it's difficult being a full-time student.
It is though. Maybe the whole concept doesn't work.
More than that, you're quite laid back, but someone here has to not be laid back. Someone has to be on top of it. If you stayed in any of these rooms, I absolutely guarantee that you would find that light bloody annoying.
Maybe it's my age, because people my age, I find these things okay.
The excuses keep on coming. Alex has her work cut out if she's going to make Justin see the light. Next, she wants to tackle the so-called Kandinsky breakfast.
It's a real insult to call it a Kandinsky-inspired breakfast. I think you should be calling it artists starving in a garret breakfast, and at least so you've got a sense of humour.
Yeah.
Yeah? I have no problem with it only being continental, but then if you do, the elements have to be good. Why have you got the cheapest supermarket sliced bread? It's easy enough to have pain au chocolat or something crusty, something that shows that you give a bit of a damn about people who are paying 80 quid a night having their breakfast. A very good option is that you could do like breakfast in a bag and it's delivered to your room and you have a croissant in it and an apple or a banana and a can of juice. Try and be a bit more conceptual about it. This is just a bit shoddy, isn't it?
It is, I agree. The paper bag idea is very good, actually.
You like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Another blot on the hotel's landscape is the confused and chaotic frontage.
So I brought you out the front because I think you're sending a lot of mixed messages. It doesn't look like somewhere funky. You've got those kind of bamboo blinds. You also see that nasty terracotta thing, which looks like it's just been kicked in the nuts. And you've got one chance, that first chance to impress people, and I think you're missing it.
Justin has painted himself into a corner, creating a hotel that appeals neither to the art crowd nor the regular Brighton traveller. Alex has a three-point plan to bring the business back from the brink.
I really like your concept of the hotel, and I think it's got huge potential, but that's why I've got so angry and so frustrated with you. to improve what you're offering, we have to look at three quite distinct areas. First of all is the coherence of the whole. So that means you deciding whether you are a kind of art hotel and making a few value judgments about the stuff that's lying around and editing stuff down. I think you need to look at every room as if it's a kind of installation by an artist. The second thing is, I think you need to be assuming the mantle of the person in charge, taking responsibility for some of the things that are here. So I think that when you come, you do need to check the rooms. You need to see what maintenance needs doing. Finally, I want you to do some research into breakfast. You know, Brighton is an incredibly hip and happening place, and you've got amazing suppliers here. And I think you're letting yourself down dramatically on your breakfast, okay? At the moment, I don't think you're being a very good patron of the arts or a very good hotelier.
Sure.
Does that sound fair?
Sounds extremely fair, yeah. Just need to try a bit harder with everything.
For me, the hotel side of things, I think anybody can run a hotel, but to run a really good hotel is extremely difficult.
But I have been doing this only 1 year. I am 21.
So I think as such, it's more of a fine-tuning job.
I think Justin needs a rocket up his arse. The fact that he's only 21 just doesn't wash with me. I suppose I've realised that what I really have to do is turn the boy Justin into a man.
If Justin is going to get a master's from the University of Polizzi, you'll need to raise the bar significantly. Lesson 1, a field trip. Brighton's Hotel Pelirocco, run by business partners Mick Robinson and Jane Slater, is a themed hotel aimed at an urban market similar to the one Justin craves.
Well, we've got 19 rooms, and there's Betty's Boudoir, dedicated to Betty Page, the 50s pin-up, and Modraphenia, which is themed around the film Quadrophenia and mods, obviously, famous in Brighton.
It also happens to be situated in the exact same square as the artist residence. If Justin wants his concept to work, he's got to overcome some stiff competition on his doorstep. Alex wants him to study two things: the conceptual design of the rooms and the fundamental rules of good housekeeping.
So this is the latest room that's been redesigned at the hotel. It's designed by some girls from Brighton called Ophelia Fancy.
We don't just give them free rein. They have a list of things that there has to be bedside tables, for example. There has to be a tea and coffee making area, because sort of hotel standards, there are certain minimums that you have to adhere to.
Sure.
And so we do have the final say.
So were there any moments when they said, I like this, and you're like, oh no?
Yeah, there have been some of those moments,
yeah,
because there has to
totally.
be a final say ultimately.
And sometimes we give a little bit here and there.
That's probably what you need a bit more, isn't it? The final say.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. This is the Jamie Reid Magic Room. This ties in with the artists' stuff that you're doing, because Jamie Reid was a famous artist in the punk era. You have to get the basics right, and we like to always keep a very high standard of cleanliness, and I think that's essential.
And this is like a housekeeper's job description, how you clean a room, and there's a certain order you do it in. And then after they've been cleaned, the head housekeeper then rechecks everything from the skirting boards to the way the bed's been made, and only once they've done that will the head housekeeper sign it.
Definitely
It's
works.
not just like cleaning your bedroom at home.
Exactly. I mean, that's why this hotel works, you know.
The detail.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opener for Justin, who's beginning to realise there's a lot more to running a hotel than just sitting back and letting it happen.
So, you know, boring stuff is stuck in my head, really. Stuff like having proper systems in place with the laundry and the cleaning rota. You know, it's things like that that really make a good hotel. I'm going to be checking the rooms every time I come down. So yeah, it does start from the top.
The artist residence in Brighton is run by 21-year-old business student Justin Salisbury and staffed by a bunch of live-in artists. But the 9-bedroom art hotel cum gallery isn't a pretty picture, and after only a year of trading, its days could already be numbered.
The hotel has been running at a loss. It's just about staying alive, really.
With the business in peril, Justin has turned to expert hotelier Alex Polizzi for help. She's discovered that when it comes to running a professional hotel, Justin doesn't know his art from his elbow. Today, Alex is back in Brighton to check on developments. She'd left instructions to improve 3 key areas of the hotel: the finish in the rooms, the uninspiring breakfast, and Justin's management skills.
Well, I'm pretty amazed that he hasn't bothered to clean the glass yet. It's absolutely filthy. You can barely see in. There hasn't really been any change, and I was hoping that I was going to see a really big difference when I came here, but I certainly don't. Justin.
Hello.
How are you?
Come in.
Thank you. So how's everything been in general?
Yeah, well, I've taken a lot of what you've said on board.
Yeah.
So I think you should be impressed.
Okay. I'm not massively impressed by how filthy the glass is in your front door.
But it is a very torrid day today, weather-wise. So.
It would put me off walking in.
Yeah, and as I said, it's a work in progress.
I see you've got some stuff out here for me to have a look at. Do you want to talk me through it?
Okay, well, we're going to take on the idea of the breakfast in a bag. So the idea was that they would have a selection of either apple juice or orange juice.
Yeah.
And possibly we're looking at some sort of granola or some kind of nutty snack that people generally like, seeds.
At least you've really thought about this. I'm very pleased.
There is healthy progress, but the breakfast bag is missing a treat. A few minutes stroll from the hotel is one of Brighton's most popular bakeries. Alex has arranged a sampling session of some of their freshly baked pastries.
Let's try a pain au chocolat, shall we?
Okay, thank you.
I think that's good, really good.
I think it's very good, yeah.
I'm not sure what this is. That's quite a good option. It's like an apple turnover.
Yeah.
That's really good. And no one given a good juice, a pastry, and a bar and a good coffee is going to think that they've been hard done by at breakfast, are they?
Well, it sure beats our current breakfast.
Delicious.
There's the sweet smell of success, but attention now turns to an even stickier subject.
So when you went to the Pella Rocco, they gave you a cleaning routine that they use, and they also talked to you about how they manage the checking of the rooms. Did you find that helpful?
Yes, of course, because previously we didn't have anything like that at all. So now, I mean, we just follow exactly what they do, and it's working reasonably well.
Okay, just from here I can see, Dale, that, you know, this definitely needs attention. There's hoovering that needs doing.
No, I mean, you know what, I don't even know whether this room's actually finished yet because we haven't seen the sheets.
Another day, another excuse. While there have been inroads with the breakfast, Justin has failed to address the more pressing issue of the rooms. Alex wants to see more urgency.
The rate of change is glacial, and I think at this point now, you know, if we're going to achieve what I really want to, you've got to get everyone signed up. On my side, I'm going to arrange for a local artist to come in and do one of your rooms. I would like you to be able to see what a properly finished room should look like.
Sure.
On your side of things, however, I feel incredibly strongly that you have got to start tackling some of the schlock that's about. I've put myself on the line and I've asked a leading professional in the art curating world to come here and to give you some advice. I don't want her to turn up and think that this looks like a bedsit. Yeah?
When is she arriving?
Within the next couple of weeks. There is still so much to do here at the artist's residence, and I don't think that Justin still completely grasps the scale of the change that I'm asking of him. I don't think any business can continue to fail as miserably as this one's doing. It's failing as a hotel, and it's also failing as an art gallery. And Justin has now got to really pull his finger out and make sure that things happen a bit more quickly. So success or failure, it's up to him.
The hotel inspector's plan is to commandeer 2 rooms and provide Justin with a blueprint to roll out across the rest of the hotel. Alex has drafted in a local Brighton artist to redesign Room 8. She's hoping a refit of Room 8 and Room 5 will act as a template to show Justin the level of finish required. While Alex's team work on the new rooms, Justin at last appears to be adopting a more business-like approach.
She wants this place to be better, and so do I. So she's told me what we need to do, and I think we should respond to that in the right manner.
He's coming down more regularly and things like that, so it's more hands-on. Hello, artist residents.
The staff are getting stuck into the breakfast bags. And Justin has employed a handyman to get to grips with the very long list of maintenance jobs.
Started on the ground level. I'm slowly working my way to the top. So I'll end up in heaven, effectively, or hell, depending how it goes.
The finishing touches are being applied to the 2 new rooms. Alex has elected to use simple white furniture, a neutral foil to the busy artwork. Today, Alex is back to see the changes for herself.
So, 1 month ago, dreadful, breakfast derisory. Just the other day, brilliant, great atmosphere, lovely rooms, and loved the breakfast bags. So we're getting something right at last. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I liked the comment in your book about the breakfast.
No, it's good news, isn't it? It's a huge contrast to what it was before. Probably the worst breakfast in Brighton.
With the breakfast bags officially a success, Alex is anxious to see the new rooms. Room 5 was once a mumbo-jumbo of vibrant art, clashing with Oriental furniture and Egyptian cushions. Now it allows the art to breathe, but still provides guests with the level of comfort they'd expect from an £80 room.
Great! This looks so much better. Are you pleased with it?
I am pleased, yeah. Well, I mean, all of this furniture really accentuates the art and you don't want to distract it. So yeah, I've learned. It's a good template anyway for the other rooms.
I think I've stayed true to your concept, but, just lifting it, make it a bit more grown up. Yeah?
Yeah.
OK.
Room 5 has received the thumbs up, but how will the brave new world of Room 8 fare? The room has gone from dingy and dishevelled to a light and airy space, complete with its own bespoke wall painting of the Brighton seafront. The white furniture complements the art, giving the room a fresh and contemporary feel.
Wow. Well, I think this is more like it. I really love this.
I'm really happy. I mean, he's used the space very well. Out there, it looks straight onto the pier.
Yeah.
And, it looks like it's joining in with the actual room. So, I mean, he's really thought about it.
But, who wouldn't like sleeping in this room? I mean, it's really high quality.
Now the hotel side of the operation is finally falling into place, it's time to tackle the other problem child, the gallery.
Justin has made no attempt to curate any aspect of the art. Anyone who wants to can come and put their pieces up or paint over something, or it's very haphazard.
Alex has called on renowned curators Artwise to give Justin some professional advice. Susie Allen and Deanna Vanagan have curated exhibitions in some of the country's leading galleries.
I'm very nervous that Justin is now going to try and bluff his way through this next meeting. However, I'm hoping that it's going to give him the shake-up that he really needs and that he takes this opportunity to embrace the criticism and not find excuses and not find explanations and just shut up, take it like a man and say that he'll do better in the future.
We'll have to find out from him if this is a serious business, because if it's a serious business, then we can potentially help. If it's not serious, it's wasting our time actually doing anything with him.
So as not to colour the experts' opinions, Alex has left Justin to fend for himself.
So this is the gallery here.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
I mean, my first impression from it, I have to be very honest with you here, is it's a bit higgledy-piggledy.
There just seems to be too much going on, everything from sort of the mouldings to the mirrors to the sort of partition of the wall ending to the, it just sort of, there's quite a lot that the work on the walls is competing with.
It's a very small space, so you need to make the most of it, really. Can I just ask you what you think about the room?
I think you're asking the wrong person, really.
Do you go around galleries much?
I try to, but I'd say I've got the standard, average person's art knowledge.
It's really not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, it really, really isn't good enough. And you need to be able to up the ante. You can't call it an art hotel. You really, really can't.
Right, so what do you think of this space?
Crap.
There's absolutely no consistency. I mean, it's sort of, I just feel completely sort of overloaded.
Everything about it is awful. Really, I think it would be much better if you absolutely had nothing here. Think minimal.
It's very clear that he's just not sure what he's doing in any sense of the word. He needs to sort of professionalise his approach.
I mean, it's a disaster land, to be quite honest, in there. He's got to clear everything. He's actually got to start really from scratch, but he's got a long way to go before that.
He's got an incredible amount of work to
do. How did it go with Deanna and Susie? Were they very critical?
Yes, they were extremely critical, but quite right too. I'm not doing the artwork much justice, let's be honest, which has got to change, and it will straight away.
Okay, because I'm going to challenge you to put on a good private view. I want to get a kind of buzz going about the artist residence, which will help you in time for next season. Yeah? Does that make sense?
It does completely, yeah. So what's the time frame of this challenge?
You've got a month.
1 month?
Yeah.
The private view will provide a vital opportunity to build the artist residence's reputation as a hotel and a credible art venue. It's a make or break event, and Alex is leaving Justin with a lot on his plate. She's still not convinced he's man enough for the job.
I would like to see a bit more trepidation. I would like to see a bit more anxiety. He is his usual suave, charming self, and I need more than that from him. I need to see some guts.
For me, it's just a learning experience, and I think people will see that it's a work in progress. And I think adults should be encouraged to help young people try and do something like this. Because at the end of the day, we've had a lot of criticism, but we are just a group of young people, all of us are under 25, and we're just trying to do something and make something work.
Over the past 4 months, Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi has been trying to drag the artist residence, a B&B in Brighton, from clumsy to cutting edge. She set a template for how 21-year-old manager Justin should furnish his unique rooms.
This is more like it.
And called in expert curators to help him tackle his mess of a gallery space.
Crap. Just everything about it is awful.
Now Alex has arranged a major private view of a new exhibition to draw attention to his unusual gallery-cum-hotel concept. But she's worried the 21-year-old student won't have pulled his finger out in time.
I want him to grow balls, basically. And if he's going to make this an art hotel, to make it a bloody good one.
If Justin can get his act together, the event could put the hotel on the map, making it the destination of choice for any art lover. Alex has also invited a writer from the Lonely Planet Guide, just the sort of publication that could make a massive difference to Justin's pitiful occupancy rates. Today, Alex is back to make sure the night goes right.
I'm never confident with Justin that he's going to do what I ask of him. He's quite a slippery customer to deal with. Today's really important, and I don't want Justin to fall flat on his face, but it's really up to him whether this succeeds or not.
Well, this looks better.
In the stairwells, Justin has taken the curator's advice, stripping out the crowded cacophony, converting it to a blank canvas that gives the art rooms beyond far greater impact.
So maybe Justin has listened after all. I can't wait to see the rest of it. Wow. This now looks like a proper exhibition space.
Downstairs has been transformed from untidy breakfast room filled with badly hung art to a spacious and professional gallery.
It's so exciting. I can't believe it. Hi. This is so exciting.
I know it is, isn't it?
I'm really, really impressed. I wasn't sure whether you were actually going to do everything that you said you would, but you've pulled it out of the bag.
And Justin has another surprise for Alex. Using her work as a template, he's made his own changes to room 1, turning it from sketchy patchwork to sleek and unique.
Wow!
This is what we did when you were away.
Fabulous! I can't believe it, darling. It looks great. Just looks fab, Justin. Justin, I'm going to kiss you. Mwah. Mwah. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Really well done.
The decor is impressive, but as the critical private view approaches, Alex's positivity
Come in.
rapidly turns to frustration.
Where can we put coats, Justin, doll?
Alex feels Justin is taking a typically laid-back attitude to the most important aspect of good hotelling, the service.
2 of you here, please. Asking what people would like to drink and serving it. Thank you.
And it's driving her to distraction.
Twat.
Time the young upstart got a pep talk.
This is really important. You know, here, at this moment, you're the proprietor of a hotel. Yeah. I'm not interested in your student life. This is you in a professional capacity. Fine. No faffing, just be very incisive.
Okay, yeah, understand.
Okay.
Justin must raise his game substantially if he's going to sell his hotel to the arty glitterati. Among the invited guests are the curators from Artwise. The last time they saw the hotel, they were fiercely critical.
Hello, Alex. Wow, what a transformation. Bit of change.
It's a very full house, and Alex is doing her bit to sell the hotel concept and generate Justin some much-needed business.
What do you think?
Fantastic, yeah. And definitely in the Fringe, it will make a brilliant venue.
Yeah. Great, that's very positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But the big turnout has left Justin overwhelmed.
Too many people, don't you? It's so busy.
And ineffective.
I don't know who to talk to, there's a lot of people.
You have to go up and say, I'm Justin, this is my hotel.
Yeah.
He has got to sell his place. He's got to be charming. He's got to be professional. I'm not entirely sure that he's capable of doing this. If he's not, then he's going to fall flat on his face and it'll be very embarrassing for all of us.
Thankfully, Justin begins to rise to the occasion.
Have a look around and let us know what you think as well. My name's Justin. Justin, yeah.
And starts plugging his product.
Take care and have a drink. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she did.
We actually have some open rooms as well.
The art set seems suitably impressed.
You've actually got some really important artists hanging here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's incredible.
I know. The concept's just different, you know, having different themed rooms and stuff like that.
It's the wild and wonderful cookie room. Amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I think it's just brilliant to be able to sleep in a comfortable bed in a room that's also like waking up in sort of the Tate Modern.
Everyone I've talked to so far has been very positive. Some shakers and movers in Brighton who are incredibly enthusiastic.
But there's one visitor who might be harder to please. Karina Miller writes for the travel publisher Lonely Planet, and as such will have her eye clearly on the hotel side of the business. So will the artist residence get her seal of approval?
Do you think this is the kind of hotel that could feature in a Lonely Planet publication?
The 3 rooms I saw are very professional, very unique. The breakfast sounds fantastic, level of comfort's really good. We're always looking for places that are unique and special. This definitely fits into those categories. If I were reviewing, I would definitely try and fit it in.
That's fantastic, thank you so much.
It had a shaky start, but the event has been a roaring success.
What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of people.
You don't look very happy about that.
No, I know. I'm very, very happy that all these people have come to see the hotel. It's great for publicity. They can see all the bedrooms, see what our exhibition's about.
For the purpose that we had, which was to introduce the new, revived artist residence, this has worked perfectly. Because what we wanted to do was show everybody that a leaf has turned.
Yeah.
And this is the new you. I never thought when I first came and visited here that I'd be walking out of here with a big smile on my face, but I am.
Thank you so much.
The artist residence as a place to stay is now transformed, and I think that everyone involved in it now has a much clearer idea how to go forward with it as a success. So that is what we set out to achieve, and we've done it.
Alex has left a very lasting impression on this place. I've accepted I can't keep on making excuses, and I just feel like now it's going from strength to strength. It's something that I can really hold my head up proud about.
2 months later, Justin has gone on to refurbish all of the bedrooms. Bookings have risen dramatically, and the artist residence has gone from being slated by guests to receiving glowing 5-star reviews. Windsor's Hotel, an unrated 6-bedroom B&B in Chertsey, Surrey.
Good afternoon, Windsor's.
Former airline trolley dolly Melanie White opened the property as a wine bar in 1989.
It's funny how wines come in and out of fashion. It used to be Chardonnay, then it was Pinot Grigio. Now Pinot Grigio is really naff.
10 years later, she added the guest rooms, personally decorating them all in her own unique style.
It's silky.
Yeah, it's soft and squidgy.
I absolutely loved doing the rooms up. I was determined that each one was going to be completely different. It is very much an expression of what I like.
Although business originally boomed, a decade later, it's a very different story.
The bookings just really dropped. It just went like that, like a stone. God, one week we had like 3 room nights booked, which is just scary monsters.
That's £37,000 down just on the rooms.
It's tragic, beyond belief. I just really would love to get in a situation where I didn't wake up every morning petrified if I can pay a bill.
Probably costing me about 20 quid every time someone stays here at the moment. Probably more, actually.
25% occupancy rates have meant staff cuts, forcing a jaded Mel to get her immaculately manicured hands dirty.
Well, little stress levels have gone through the roof.
I don't miss a booking. I'm sitting on the loo, I'm taking it, it's literally anywhere. That would be £99 including breakfast and VAT.
For Mel, running Windsor's has become a chore.
Bloody guests, take your shoes off, stop messing it up. I know, I couldn't agree more.
Especially when dealing with her frequently dissatisfied guests.
I really hate it when people complain. Small northern men, balls particularly, are very difficult.
Sorry, 1 second.
Something I take to personally. I think they're sort of criticising me.
Sorry, can you speak up a bit? Hello?
I'm always a person that gets the 6'6", 20 stone American. And I won't do it. I just won't check them in.
Can't answer a word of that.
At the end of her tether, Mel has sent an SOS to award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi.
Look, it's there, but it would be very easy to drive past. I think you'd be quite shocked if you arrived there and you realised that that's where you'd booked to stay.
But is it already too late to rescue this damsel in distress?
I mean, I've sold my car, I've remortgaged my flat. There's not much else I can put into it, really.
Despite only having 6 rooms, Mel markets Windsor's as a hotel.
It's taken me about 3 passes in the car to finally spot where Windsor's stands, because it certainly doesn't look like a hotel. Now I'm up close, I can read that it says Hotel Bistro Bar and Cafe, but as I was driving past, it looked like a wine bar with possibly some flats above. And there's a poster on the window saying Nails and Cocktails Ladies Night. Now, if I was a businessman arriving and I saw that, I would get very nervous. Mel.
Oh, hi, Alex.
Alex Polizzi.
Hi, lovely to meet you.
So, walking past, quite easy to miss. You've got quite a small frontage and it's dark, and you don't have one of those arms that kind of say Windsor's.
No.
It's not particularly noticeable, so that's definitely something we're going to have to tackle.
To get to the root of the B&B's problems, Alex will stay the night. Mel has booked her into the aptly named Green Room, a double priced at £100 per night.
So this is the Green Room, I take it?
Yeah, it is.
Very artistic headboard.
Yep, that was my own design actually. And yeah, it should be really comfy.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you so much. So, first impressions about the room decor. There's an awful lot of decoration for a very small room. Swag curtains, lots of cushions. Where do you put them in such a small room when you actually go to bed? And I'm not sure that I really approve of this. Certainly not a room where you want any couple activity.
Like many guests before her, Alex is underwhelmed.
This isn't a hotel. It shouldn't pretend to be a hotel. It doesn't have room information, it doesn't have a phone. Basically, it's a let room, and she ought to make that clear so that people, when they arrive here, know what they're getting.
And things don't get any better as Alex moves on through the rest of the rainbow.
Oh dear. The room is painted eye-watering orange, not aided by the fact that the ceiling is painted in too. I'm not quite sure what these cushions are for. What does one actually do with them? There's a kind of leopard print bedspread and these very dark drapes, which I loathe. We also have some pretty unappealing desiccated fruit here. And, oh God, I'm so glad I'm not staying in this room.
So far, it's more Bet Lynch than boutique. Next, the Red Room.
Well, welcome to the knocking shop. It looks very pink and red, and there's a very nasty stain, which really puts me off. In fact, everything is just a little bit grimy. The attention to detail is definitely lacking. I mean, look at how filthy that light is. And this is something that Mel is ignoring at her peril.
Last to be inspected, the Blue Room.
Well, what can I say about this room except it's pretty small? I can imagine a 6'6" American would have quite a lot to say if he was shown into this room. Once again, this looks very tired. It really needs redecorating. The attention to detail is not great. Look at this. Look at the grouting around the bath. It's really manky. This is a bathroom that's small but far from perfectly formed.
Now Alex has seen the damage for herself, she wants to dig a little deeper into what's causing it.
Why did you get into this industry?
I've never worked in an office, never could. It was just an opportunity to do something a bit different.
I'm not meaning to be insulting, but...
When she's going to be.
I wouldn't think of you as a natural hotelier. Would you disagree with that?
No, I don't think I disagree with that at all, actually. When it's working well, it enables me to go to the gym and all those things. But it's now becoming like taking over everything. Like this week I've been here every day.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that point, you think, actually, is it really worth it?
How bad are things now? I mean, how long do you think you can keep on going unless the situation improves?
It can't carry on like this, that's for sure.
So rooms are down almost 70%?
Yeah.
With time in short supply, Alex has already identified what she thinks is a deep-seated problem.
Okay, so there's a few things that interest me here. I mean, it wouldn't seem obvious to me that this was somewhere that business people would stay. I think you're making a mistake by advertising yourself as a hotel because, in my opinion, this isn't a hotel. This is a wine bar stroke bistro with rooms.
Right, that's really bad.
I think if you're saying that you're a hotel, then your expectations are much higher and you're more likely to be at least initially disappointed. Calling yourself a guest house or guest accommodation might do you a few more favours.
Alex thinks calling Windsor's a hotel can only lead to disappointment for the guests, but Mel seems less than impressed with her advice.
Hotel is a key word for actually somewhere to stay. To somebody in Japan or Russia, guest house means nothing. Windsor's guesthouse.com. I don't know.
Mel's reluctant to drop the hotel moniker. So how will she cope when Alex calls her taste into question? Melanie White is the owner of Windsor's, a struggling 6-bedroom wine bar cum B&B in Chertsey.
I put so much of myself into it, it would just break my heart just to see it go.
In desperation, she's turned to expert hotelier Alex Polizzi.
If somebody who's an expert in the field can't see a possibility of us improving our trade, then I might as well put the for sale sign up outside.
So far, Alex has discovered overpowering decor.
Oh dear.
And run-down furnishings.
Certainly not a room where you want any couple activity.
And she's decided the Windsor's hotel tag is a misnomer, responsible for many a guest's disappointment.
In my opinion, this isn't a hotel. This is a wine bar stroke bistro with rooms.
After a night's sleep, Alex is waking up, feeling blue, in the green room.
I hate the ceiling being painted in the same colour as the walls. It makes you feel like you're sleeping in a box. It's pretty oppressive. And the decorative order needs some attention. This, for example, which I think is unacceptably tatty for a room that costs £100 a night.
Next on the agenda, breakfast. A pivotal offering in any guest house. But Mel is not a morning girl.
The thing I dread the most is having to get into the kitchen. I was actually doing the cooking the other day, I couldn't believe it. I'm not doing that again.
As she won't do it herself, breakfast is cooked by Mel's loyal housekeeper, Janice.
Hello, Alex. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Would you like some cereals?
No, I won't, please, but I would love some coffee.
All right. I'll get you some orange juice first.
Thank you very much.
Oh, she's having a scrambled egg, bacon, sausages.
I find this a rather disconcertingly dark room to have breakfast in. Everything looks a bit grimy. I'd love just to take everything off it and give it a really good clean and paint this bloody ceiling white too. I feel like I'm in someone's womb. And that looks lovely.
Thank you.
A breakfast of champions. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your breakfast.
I will, thank you. The scrambled eggs are perfect. It's good.
The breakfast may be acceptable, but the room it's served in has left her cold.
Feels slightly seedy. It feels slightly unclean.
The hotel inspector is ready to deliver her critique of the B&B, and Mel is already on the defensive.
I go along with everything I can do, but if she suggests something really, well, I think it's ridiculous, then I'm not doing it.
Alex's first concern, that underwhelming first impression.
I want you to look at the outside of your establishment and see what it says. It doesn't look like a high-classy joint, does it? Looking at that. To my mind, having those posters in the windows isn't particularly warming or reassuring for someone who's arriving to stay as a business traveller. This A-board that's here, luxury ensuite accommodation, it doesn't exactly look very upmarket. Right. I hate the hotel sign there. I'm not mad about the hanging baskets with the dead flowers, and we need to make you stand out more, to make people really know that you're here, so even in passing, they're aware of the fact that you have rooms to sell.
Under fire, Mel is biting her lip. But there's worse to come. Next, the decor.
I have to say, I thought last night this room looked absolutely beautiful. It looks amazing by candlelight. But during the day, you wouldn't wander past and think, this is where I'd like to come and have breakfast. It looked slightly seedy. I think you unnecessarily darken the place and make it less inviting than it should be because of your red ceiling. It's like walking in a cave. If you want your rooms to work, you have to give your customers more. It's not a hotel, as we keep saying, but this is the place where they could come and sit and where they could use.
I agree with most of that. Excellent.
Forward.
The final issue Alex wants Mel to confront involves her pride and joy, the bedrooms, last decorated 10 years ago.
You say that they've all held up quite well and they're not looking too tired. Well, I frankly disagree. Look at that light and how dirty that light is. Look at that great big stain. I don't know quite what that's due to, but I would find that slightly unappealing in a bedroom, yeah?
I totally agree with that, yeah.
One of the things that really annoyed me was that there were so many cushions on the bed, and this is quite a small room. And I personally find your obsession with painting in the ceiling the same colour as the walls really bizarre. There are some things that you have to tackle if you're going to want to get your business back.
Get rid of those horrible things there, which was quite ornamental 8 years ago, which is now not so ornamental. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to throw them in the bin, which is excellent, unless anyone wants a banana or something.
Is there anything that you disagree with? Probably you disagree with me about the ceiling colour, but I mean, that isn't the end of the world.
Well, I do and I don't. I was going for like the idea that if it's a red room, it's like a red room, and actually there's nothing nice about this ceiling, so why pick it out?
Please don't take this as an insult, but this room to me kind of smacks rather of bordello chic.
Alex believes that to save Windsor's, Mel must tackle 3 key areas. Firstly, to avoid disappointing guests, Mel must immediately stop selling Windsor's as a hotel and rebrand it as guest accommodation.
Guests now have much higher expectations than they did even 10 years ago. You don't really want to get people here under false pretenses. You want them to come and be happy that they're here from the moment that they walk through that door.
Secondly, Alex wants Mel to deal with the dodgy decor. The untidy frontage needs a facelift, and the overpowering bedrooms need toning down. Thirdly, a jaded Mel needs a serious change of attitude, both to her guests and her business.
You're now pretty downhearted and a bit annoyed. You have to be here so much. And finding that enthusiasm to tackle everything again is quite hard, but ultimately it is up to you.
I need to kind of get sort of like, not enthusiasm, a new, more positive approach to it. Either that or I don't do it anymore and let somebody else take over.
I think you have to remove yourself from the last 20 years of hard work and success. And this is your business, this is your baby. You know, if it's going to be a success, it's on your shoulders that it will stand or fall.
Yep, absolutely right. My responsibility, nobody else's. Excellent, got it. Yeah, no one else is going to take the shit, are they?
I suppose what I feel about Mel and about Windsor's is she's really lost that loving feeling about her own place. As always in these small hotels, the devil is in the detail, and the detail really does need some attention.
I think anybody criticising what you've chosen as your particular sort of taste in decorating is always going to be a tricky one. Yeah, I probably have lost some enthusiasm. Anybody would. 20 years doing the same job? I think so. Don't you?
A few days later, and Mel has enlisted the help of her husband, Pete, to conduct an experiment. Mel wants him to play the role of a businessman who's booked into Windsor's for the first time.
Alex wanted me to try out the breakfast because normally I don't do breakfast. Breakfast is for wimps. This morning I dragged, right, my husband in for breakfast.
The Windsor's proximity to the M25 means that many of Mel's guests are businessmen.
What are you going to have for breakfast then?
As a seasoned business traveller himself, Pete will give her a much-needed corporate perspective.
So, what do you think about the room then?
I think the colours work well in the evening. I don't know about during the day. It looks, to be frank, shabby.
I'm not repainting it.
Right.
Because I like this colour.
You know, I'm just saying, that's what I think. Windsor's is a total expression of Mel. Nobody likes criticism, even if it's well meant.
The colour of the bar, I'm not sure how to be a really good nighttime place. and a really good daytime place. I'm not sure how we can do that.
Mel also wants a businessman's point of view on the guest rooms.
First impressions?
I personally don't like these things.
Why not?
Because when you get in the bed, they always sit on your feet.
No, you're supposed to put them behind your head, you twat. My husband is very anti-cushion, as are most men. Too many cushions.
Too many cushions.
Too many cushions spoil the broth,
Too many cushions. Every room she has damn cushions in it. Obviously, whoever's staying here has the same attitude to cushions that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Because you notice they're just piled on the floor.
It's a stupid place to put the cushions, isn't it?
Yeah, but why have them in the... I'm just saying, that's my...
Decorative purposes.
Okay.
I'm standing up for cushions, rights and bolsters. Every good bed has a bolster and a cushion. Or 5. 6, maybe.
It seems Mel's reluctant to budge on her distinctive style. Former air hostess Melanie White runs the struggling Windsor's Hotel and Wine Bar in Chertsey.
And
another one of those.
And another one of those. That's easy, isn't it? Super.
With occupancy rates at rock bottom, she sent an SOS to award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi. Alex has encountered overpowering decor.
I feel like I'm in someone's womb. I hate the ceiling being painted in the same colour as the walls.
A jaded owner.
Yeah, I probably have lost some enthusiasm. Anybody would. 20 years doing the same job? I think so.
And she thinks that by advertising the 6-bedroom B&B as a hotel, Mel is crushing guests' high expectations from the moment they arrive.
As I was driving past, it looked like a wine bar with possibly some flats above. It certainly doesn't look like a hotel.
But she's failed to convince Mel, who's reluctant to give up the hotel moniker for fear that it will cost her custom.
Hotel is a key word for actually somewhere to stay. Guest house means nothing.
5 weeks later, Alex is back with a plan to get her point across. She's hitting the streets with Mel, armed with a questionnaire designed to find out what guests expect when they book a hotel rather than guest accommodation.
So let's see if we can find any likely-looking business types. Excuse me, if you booked online and you weren't expecting, you didn't have an image of an outside, do any of these particularly look like the hotel kind of hotels you'd expect to be staying in?
That looks a bit more like a cafe than a hotel.
I wouldn't be impressed by that one, that's unimpressive.
Yeah. Which one would you prefer to be arriving at? Right, fine. Right, that's we've got to nuke the front of the building.
So, no, I wouldn't go for that.
Sure. Okay.
It's clear that Windsor's is anything but what people think of as a hotel.
How important is a room with individual character?
On a business trip, not really.
Which sort of style would you prefer?
The first one.
The first one here. Which one would you go for?
Well, it would obviously be the one in your upper picture, yeah.
How did that go?
People have got seriously poor taste in choosing their rooms.
And so to the moment of truth. Will Mel, as she believes, lose business if she drops the hotel tag and rebrands herself as guest accommodation?
Is it important that you stay in a hotel rather than guest accommodation?
It doesn't make any difference, really.
Not at all.
Okay. Personally, it's not actually that important.
All right, that's interesting. Thank you.
With her point made, Alex sits Mel down in a nearby bar to discuss the need to get a rating, but not as a hotel.
I think that you're mismanaging the expectation of your guest by calling yourself a hotel. And if you're ashamed or worried about checking people in because you're worried when they arrive that they're going to be slightly downhearted, and I think you have to accept that you're doing something wrong.
But a few people arrive and they were so huffy about the place that it sort of knocked my confidence.
I think it would be very beneficial for you to be rated officially and to have, therefore, some kind of official status. You can then welcome people into the place with real pride.
Actually, after today, I agree, because the vast majority of people, it didn't matter to them either way. In fact, a couple of people did say that they'd almost prefer sort of like, a good sort of guest accommodation.
A good B&B.
Yeah.
A high guest accommodation rating will address the dismal 25% occupancy, and by giving her something to be proud of, force a change in Mel's churlish attitude. But if she's to maintain her prices, anything less than 4 stars could be disastrous.
As my contribution to this, I would like to update the bar a bit, because I think it's very important that people walk in somewhere and it's immediately appealing. So I would like to ask you to tackle the rooms. I honestly think every ceiling should be white. I honestly think there should be a few less cushions. And I don't want you to spend lots of money. I just want you to do the few things that we know that need doing.
That sounds great to me, and I'd be really pleased to get to that point. I don't have to try and be a hotel anymore. I can actually be a really good guest house.
Yeah.
Which would be so much better.
The day has been a revelation for Mel, and back at Windsor's, she's feeling re-energised.
I think after today, I feel that I just want to get out there and just have a good sort of, I don't know, new look at the whole thing. Sort of get in there and do it, and stop just going, oh God. It's like, yeah, so it's been brilliant. Having spoken to people on the street today, they prefer the boring room, I prefer the slightly more exotic room. So I guess what I could always do a compromise, and then people can choose which sort of room they like, boring or interesting. Are you boring doesn't get, or you're an interesting person? Oh, you can have an interesting room then.
With Mel seemingly fully on board with the rebranding of Windsor's as guest accommodation, Alex's team can set to work. The confused frontage will be given a new lease of life, and the decor in the guest rooms will be toned down, starting with painting the ceilings white. The bar is also getting a facelift. The new scheme retains Mel's beloved red, but by lightening the walls and repainting the ceiling, Alex is hoping to make the room more inviting, day and night. Although Mel was initially enthusiastic about Alex's changes, her newfound optimism is short-lived.
For the first time, I'm actually starting to wonder whether she's got it right. I really don't like it. So, I mean, you obviously know a bit more about what you're doing here than I do. Don't you think it looks a bit sort of antiseptic?
I think it looks good. I think it's a fantastic paint job.
You like the rather unpleasant sort of grey sort of hospital psychiatric unit prison wall colour, do you?
Yeah, well, I like it, yeah.
You do? I think I might get you in a couple of weeks later and paint it red again, Simon.
Okay.
Not having this. No, change it back. I realise we do need to do something to make it different. I just don't know whether we're going in the right direction at the moment, that's all.
If Mel is unsure about the alterations to her wine bar, how will she feel about Alex's white ceiling upstairs?
Oh my God. I think one of the things about Windsor's, I had a sort of like a very kind of clear idea of how I wanted the place to look, and kind of I suppose it's a bit of an extension of me in some ways. So maybe this just takes a bit away from me, I guess, really. I just don't want to be boring and dull. And if other people want to be boring and dull, they can go and be boring and dull somewhere else.
And it's not just the ceiling that Mel's having second thoughts about.
To cushion or not to cushion, that is the question. I mean, I'm still a cushion person. I'm not going to say I'm not. It's just I like sitting on the bed watching telly with loads of cushions. Well, maybe some people don't. Maybe some people like to sleep on a bed of nails. Who knows? I'm not putting one of those in here. The best approach is to sort of, kind of either get some therapy if that's required, or wean yourself off gradually.
It seems the idea of toning down her extravagant decor is too much for her to bear.
So no, dull, dull, dull. That's what I think of this.
A few weeks later, and with the work complete, Alex is back in town to see the changes for herself.
It looks so much better. First of all, just having the name without the writing on either side makes it much more visible. There's an elbow sign that says very clearly what it does, bistro and rooms, so there can be no confusion at all. The curtains are pulled right back, so now you can see in and it becomes much more welcoming.
The exterior no longer confuses arriving guests. It's now a much classier affair.
Hello.
Oh, Alex,
How are you?
fine, thank you. How are you?
This looks fabulous.
The bar has gone from dark red womb of gloom to a bright and welcoming space that works both day and night. The stifling red ceiling is lost, replaced with a softer off-white, throwing a whole new light on the subject.
From outside, it looks like a very smart, clean look, somewhere that would really tempt you in. It all just looks much more this century.
2 weeks ago, Mel was sceptical about Alex's new colour scheme. But now the work is complete, does she feel the same?
It took me a couple of days to get used to it, but no, I love it. So well done.
Thank you very much.
Success.
A success, tick.
Mel has come round to the new bar. But there's still the thorny issue of the white ceilings in the bedrooms.
I know you weren't entirely convinced of that, were you?
I don't know, it's kind of, I just think that it maybe just makes the room look a bit more bland than it did before, but...
Trust me, darling, even if it's only on this, you have to go on blind faith alone.
My idea to paint them all the same colour was the fact that there would be no change between the walls and the ceiling.
I understand your argument, I'm just telling you on this one thing you're wrong.
Although I might not be right, I don't think I'm wrong either.
Okay.
I think it's just a matter of personal opinion.
Tell you what, I'll swap you the cushions for white ceilings.
So we'll do the white ceilings and we'll keep the cushions.
Cushions, yeah?
Deal? Yeah.
Okay, well now I want to warn you, we have decided to go down the rating route. So your quality and tourism inspector could come at any time, so stay on your toes.
Right, okay.
A high rating is essential to Alex's plan, but it's a risky strategy. Anything less than 4 stars could do more harm than good. If Windsor's is going to make the grade, there's work to be done.
Right, so here I've got the guest accommodation and minimum entry requirements, which tells me all the things we've got to do. Some evidence of attention to detail, particularly high and low level dusting. Oh right, yes, okay, I think we've got a handle on that now. I think we're there on the cleanliness side. I think we're definitely there. Excellent first and last impression. Well, we're working on that.
Judgment Day. Tonight, the assessor has anonymously booked in. But will Mel's guest phobia be her undoing? Fortunately, the assessor is checked in by one of Mel's staff. But he's barely in the door before there's a problem. There's a lengthy delay of 10 minutes before he's shown to his room. The plan to rebrand Windsor's as a guest house rather than a hotel now rests on the verdict of this one man. For the past 4 months, Alex Polizzi has been trying to transform the fortunes of Windsor's in Chertsey and the attitude of its owner, Melanie White, who's fallen out of love with her job and her guests.
If this all works out, then I think I might actually be able to check in almost any type of guest, from the tallest to the smallest, to the shortest to the fattest.
The exterior has had an injection of class and the bar a much-needed revamp, transforming it from dark and gloomy to light and roomy. The next stage of the hotel inspector's master plan is to get Windsor's its first ever star rating.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
But if it's going to pull the business back from the brink, only 4 stars or more will suffice. Last night, the official assessor arrived at Windsor's undercover. The check-in was far from faultless. If Mel's going to achieve the 4 stars she needs, the rest of the inspection will need to go more smoothly.
You certainly can. Which room are you in?
The bedroom.
Okay, the red room.
Down the road, an anxious Alex waits to hear the news.
I'm worried because often on these occasions, something goes wrong. It almost seems inevitable.
Right, that comes to £129.75p, isn't it? Oh, and they made it 133. Well, my maths must be wrong then. Oh, well,
really, it has to run like clockwork for her to get her 4 stars that we think that she deserves.
There we go.
Can I introduce myself properly?
Yes, by all means.
I'm from Quality and Tourism.
Oh, right.
Here to do your assessment for
Oh,
the
you're
star
very
rating.
quick, aren't you? Goodness me.
Let's just hope that the inspector wasn't a short, bald northerner.
After scrutinising the hotel from top to bottom, the official assessor will now reveal his verdict. It's judgment time.
So if I start with the exterior, it's well presented, there's good clear signage, I think it looks warm and welcoming as well. Public areas, the bar here, the dining room, beautifully decorated. Bedrooms overall, I think to a very good standard. Service elements, there are some areas here that perhaps could be improved. On arrival, there was quite a delay, about probably 10, 12 minutes. So I think, needs to be organised. Breakfast this morning, there was no side plate or knife, there's no butter. I think that should automatically be there.
Well, that's standard practice, and unfortunately it didn't happen last time.
In terms of what you would achieve in the hotel standard, probably would only be a 1 star. Guest accommodation, we're looking at 4 star for you, which I think is great.
Lovely.
The official assessor is leaving Mel with 4 stars, a sign of quality and validation of 20 years hard work.
So, Mel, are you pleased?
Yes, very, very pleased actually. Yes, immensely pleased. Proud even.
A 4-star guest accommodation is good.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Much better than being a 1-star hotel.
Absolutely.
And now that you've got this 4-star rating, I want to challenge you to go out and actually contact some of the big national businesses who book rooms and invite them to come and see your product. I think we should throw a 21st birthday party for Windsor's.
Yes.
Yes?
21st birthday party, excellent.
Good!
Everyone always wants another one of those, don't they?
I know, 21 again.
But if those 4 stars are to prove instrumental in attracting new business, Alex wants Mel to get over her phobia and embrace new guests, whatever their size, shape or origin. Mel begins by hitting the phone.
Shit, that's wrong bloody Georgie. Fuck. It's going straight to voicemail.
With the phone a dead end, Mel's forced to be more proactive. In the drive to attract new business, Alex has told Mel to think big and think local.
A lot of people don't even know we're here, so it'd be good just to kind of go out and really sort of spread the word a bit.
Shepperton Film Studios is only 3 miles from Windsor's and home to a number of creative businesses that need rooms for their freelance staff.
So if you'd like to come to that, that'd be great, and then you could see the rooms and everything.
Oh, to us look around, fantastic.
Get an idea of what we
Okay.
do. Oh, hi, I was looking for Paul. I'm Mel. Hi.
Hi there.
Closer still, an even bigger fish. Thorpe Park is one of the country's leading attractions, with millions of visitors each year, a high proportion of whom want accommodation during their visit.
Hi Penny, lovely to meet you. I'm Mel. Tomorrow we're having a party, and if you could come down, we could show you the rooms then.
That would be fantastic.
It's been a slog, and a tired Mel can only hope that her hard work pays off. It's the big day, and Alex is back to make sure it's a success.
Good morning, Mel.
Hello, Alex.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So you're feeling positive so far?
Yeah, incredibly positive.
Good. There's only an hour to go. Is there something that I can do to help you?
You can help me light some night lights.
Lovely.
Yep.
That's the one.
It's a last-minute race to get the place spick and span for the select group of invited VIPs.
Knife should always be on the right-hand side rather than on the left-hand side.
Did you get any ice?
2 forks here.
Just stick some of this shit under the bar, I think.
Looks good, darling.
It does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right on cue, the select guests begin to descend on the bar.
Come and talk to your guests.
A few months ago, Mel could barely bring herself to check a guest in. Now, she has a room full of them. She's going to have to step out of her comfort zone and engage with them.
set off with a fair bit of time just in case to make sure I could find it. 3 minutes hold here.
Thanks to the new signage, all the guests have arrived in good time, including the marketing manager for Thorpe Park. And Dan from Shepperton Studios.
Really nice to meet you. Can I get you a drink?
Lovely. The New Look bar is going down a treat.
I wish they would see
Everyone's enjoying the flowing wine and free food, but the frivolity has to translate into bookings.
It's going very well. We've got a lot of people here. They all seem interested in what Mel's up to. I now just have to make sure that we get lots of people through to see the rooms.
Mel had lost confidence in showing guests around her personally decorated rooms. Now, Alex is asking her to face up to her fears and show them off to the VIPs.
Then we go to the green room.
It just feels like it's got a lot more character than a lot of places, so it's really, really nice.
This is the yellow room.
It's sort of more like a home than a hotel room, isn't it?
Just a place to sort of lay your head, yes. So here we have the red room. Sharon? Yeah,
you feel quite glam and sexy.
Yeah.
Sort of place you'd have a naughty anniversary, I think.
I think there's been quite a few naughty anniversaries in here.
The bedrooms have proved a turn-on, but Mel needs them to turn a profit.
What have you thought of the property now that you've had a look around it?
Fantastic. We're thrilled to find somewhere on the doorstep that we didn't know existed, so it's perfect.
I just want to book myself in at the moment, actually. It did seem pretty good from when I was looking around.
The guests are impressed. Windsor's 21st birthday party has been a triumph.
Are you happy with how today went?
It's gone so well, beyond my wildest dreams, really. I just feel much more confident about the whole thing now. I'll meet any American, any northern person, short, fat, bald, whatever. I don't care.
I'm leaving Mel and Windsor's with an unusually warm glow in my heart. I really feel, most importantly, that we've given her back her love in her business. You can see from today she's got a huge smile on her face, and that gives me enormous satisfaction.
I feel really so much more positive than when we first started. I'm going to make it work no matter what. And no matter what it takes, we will still be here next year, and hopefully we'll have 5 stars instead of 4.
2 months on, bookings are up by more than 100%, and Mel has been turning guests away. But she's still standing up for Cushion's rights.
I'm in Hawley, which is 35 minutes away from central London and only 5 minutes drive away from Gatwick. Gatwick Airport has 285,000 flights a year in and out of its hub, and that means over 45 million people pass through here. It's an area rich in guest houses. As you can imagine, competition is pretty fierce. And with 13 other B&Bs on his street, all battling for the same passenger trade, at the Lawn, owner Kazim's always trying to stay one step ahead.
Every morning I'd go onto online travel agent sites. I'd have a look and see what my competition is doing.
He took over at the tender age of 21 when his parents remortgaged their home to buy the 12-bedroom B&B, and he's run it single-handedly ever since.
Cooking the breakfast, doing the airport transfers, checking people in, checking people out, doing maintenance, everything. I mean, I do it all myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, that's 10 hours, yeah? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15 hours, so I work 15 hours a day. Oh, what a week? I don't know what 15 times 7 is. Come on. You got a calculator?
10 years later, Kazim's on a mission to make the Lawn a cut above his competition.
What I try and advertise myself as is more of a premium upmarket B&B or a guest house. So everything has to be completely straight and aligned. This is our new refurbished room. Whenever I've decorated a room, I've always made sure that I'd go that extra mile and get the best product that I can afford. Yes, it's been majorly expensive, but with the end result, it looks great.
But the increasingly fierce fight for guests is forcing him to reduce rates.
A lot of the competitors get the bookings in just because of their price, so their prices are only a little bit lower, but then again their standards are also lower. I have one, it's £45. And for the sake of a few pounds, all the business goes to my competition, and that's really where I'm struggling.
Kazim's barely making ends meet.
I don't pay myself a salary. For me, it's more important that I can get my bills paid. November and December, we've had to find another £2,000 to pay that month's mortgage. Just a bit of a dust up.
Now he's hoping I can help save his struggling airport stopover from crash landing.
I need somebody from outside to come in and with fresh eyes say, look, this is how to do it properly. This is how you need to do it. I don't think I could walk away from here. I think because I call it my baby, I feel that it's now part of me. So I'll do anything that I can to keep it afloat.
Usually hoteliers know exactly when to expect me, so sometimes I like to arrive incognito to keep them on their toes.
Can I help you?
Oh, hi, I've got a room booked tonight under the name of Vickers.
Oh, lovely. I shall be with you right away.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, come on in.
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Vickers.
I'm Alex Polizzi. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
It's not the reaction I was expecting. He's either playing it cool or is in shock. Thanks, darling. I'm sorry I booked on the Vickers. I decided I would come without any warning.
That's okay.
Just see how you were.
That's okay.
See if you can think on your feet.
Yeah.
Obviously you can. I've seen you change people around. Have other people not arrived yet?
No, quite luckily actually.
Oh, why are you giving me a nicer room?
I am.
He certainly gets brownie points for quick thinking. I'd just like to know why he's moving me, particularly as he has a full house. So you've got every room booked tonight.
Yes.
What's your occupancy usually?
If you do it over a week, we have busy days and not so busy days. For example, this week we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we're busy. The rest of the week we're a lot quieter. So if you average that over a week, occupancy rating could be 60%.
Is this accurate or is this just a guess?
I'm just sort of, just to sort of give you a rough idea.
My alarm bells are ringing already. Kazim should be able to tell me his occupancy at a glance, but I think I've spotted a possible reason why he can't. What's this thing then?
This is my
forward bookings, is it?
Yeah, this is forward bookings, and this is
tonight.
Tonight, yeah. So basically, what it means for me is that I can see who's going what time to the airport.
You're gonna have to convince me of the benefit. It's a long time since I've seen this as a system. His approach to managing bookings is oddly old-fashioned. Do you want to show me my room?
I will, certainly.
Thank you, darling. Especially given the thoroughly modern decor. I like your carpet.
Oh, thank you.
Priced at £50 per night off peak, after his last-minute juggling, Kazim's moved me into room 5.
Okay, come on in, please. Here we are. This is your room.
Thank you very much.
This is your key.
Thank you.
This key will open the outside door and the room door, so as long as you've got the key with you, you can come in and go as you like.
Thank you so much,
All right,
Kazim.
my
And
pleasure.
thank you for dealing with me with such grace.
Not a problem, my pleasure. Have
Bye.
a nice day. Thank you.
If my surprise arrivals rattled him, he's doing a great job hiding it. Poor man, he must have felt rather flustered because, after all, he didn't know I was coming.
I wet myself when I see Alex. Seriously. Yeah, I can't even do eye contact. Just can't do it.
I think he dealt with it quite well, considering. His cool head isn't the only thing that's impressed me since I arrived. I'm amazed at the decorative order in this place. It gives a very good first impression. That ante-room that you walk into, the kind of hall, is very nice. It looks like it's been done up fairly recently. It's the same story in my room. I mean, there's been some thought as to colours. The carpet is clean, there's a headboard, there's a mattress protector. So far, so very good.
Did pretty well. I gave her the best room that I could today because we are fully booked today. Nobody had checked in, so that was really lucky.
It's absolutely fine. Spare loo roll, lovely and clean. I'm going to kill myself on those steps coming down in the night. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. I have to say, it's not immediately obvious what the issue is here. But in the cold light of day, the problems become all too clear. I'm at the Lawn B&B. Last night I was impressed by owner Kazim's calm handling of my unexpected arrival and his very stylish decor. So after a good night's sleep, the breakfast room is a rude awakening. This is rather a surprise after the rest of the building. It's like stepping into my...
Stepping in time.
Yes, my great-grandmother's dining room.
Well, if you imagine what we've got in here was all throughout there as well, so we've managed to get that up to date, but this bit is still...
This is still a work.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Clearly.
So, can I get you tea or coffee to begin with, please?
Yes, I'd love some coffee.
Coffee, sure.
Thank you.
And this is the menu. Have a read, and I'll come back and take your order. And you can help yourself with everything on the side.
I want poached eggs on toast.
Sure.
Work in progress is an understatement. It's like I've wandered into another establishment entirely. I think this is the first real shock I've had. The reality is, most people do not have enough money to do a wholesale makeover on a place this size. He's owned it 10 years. He's obviously prioritised some things over others. What worries me, though, is the mixed message the difference in the decor is giving his guests. If the rest of the house was like this, my goodness, hasn't he done a great job in transforming it? On the other hand, you know, what a dump. Hopefully, breakfast will make up for the tired surroundings.
I've just got to wait until the water starts to bubble, and just as soon as it bubbles, I'll get my eggs in.
But after a restless night...
I had a dream at 4 o'clock in the morning that she calls me and she says that I need to change my pillows and I need to change my bin. I didn't know what that meant.
Kazim's feeling the pressure to deliver.
There we go.
Thank you.
Coffee and some milk.
Thanks so much.
There you go. And I'll come back with the order shortly.
Thank you.
This is the most important couple of poached eggs that I'll ever make. Happy with those. Get them on. Perfect. Right, there we go.
I'm glad he's happy, because one vital part of my morning routine has left me anything but.
There we go, Alex.
Kazim, what is this disgusting coffee?
That's your 2 poached eggs on brown toast. And that's your fork.
Thank you.
It's instant coffee.
You should be ashamed. Ashamed. This is like, you know, anathema to an Italian. I mean,
I know.
Thank you. Might as well drink my own urine for all the good it's going to do me in the morning. A good breakfast is guaranteed to send guests away happy, but Kazim's basic, blandly presented offering... I don't think it's a particularly glamorous breakfast. ...is as dated as the room he's serving them in. I mean, this makes me laugh. Choose from the extensive menu while you dine in the sunny breakfast room with a sophisticated Victorian decor. The backdrop is an impressive start to the day ahead. Possibly my idea of impressive is different from Kazim's. It's a far cry from the elegant hallway or my smart double, and a tour of the other rooms quickly confirms this place is suffering from a split personality. It's just a funny combination, isn't it? The kind of chic ones and then this, whereas the bed's actually perfectly fine. This slightly disturbs me. Hey ho, Silver. Now I can see why Kazim switched my room last night. I could do without the vase with the funny bits of dried whatever in, and I'm not madly keen on the artwork. Some things are easier to fix than others. For example, you know, it wouldn't cost a lot of money just to take... You don't have to do everything. Just take these pictures off the walls, repaint the room, take off this repulsive frieze, and, you know, Bob would pretty much be your uncle. After checking in downstairs, guests are bound to be disappointed if they're given a room like this. The main problem I have so far in all of this is that Kazim is trying to give an impression of the lawn that is erroneous from the entrance. I'm all for a good first impression, but not if that first impression is then held to ransom by every other aspect of the building. It is better at this point that I encourage him to, you know, bring everything up to a slightly nicer standard. But I'm worried there's a bigger problem. I think he misunderstands the basic nature of the business that he's in. You know, transient airport overnighters. You know, of course they want things to be to a nice standard, but they don't really need it to be the standard of the entrance hall. I think I need to start by tackling Kazim on his spending priorities. You spent too much money here. Why? Why? I mean, it's really impressive, but it's...
See, I've got a bit of an expensive taste, and it means that I can, when I show people to their room, I can show it with pride.
Do you get a bit of when you show them into room, I don't know, 7?
Room 7 or something. Exactly.
Clearly, I'm not the only one who's been confused by the difference in the decor.
It looks more expensive than it actually is because
I'm
honestly,
relieved to hear it.
It was just under £1,000.
So that's quite an expensive wall.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I see quite a lot of money spent here that might have been better
spent elsewhere.
elsewhere.
Sure, or even saved.
With so much still in need of even a basic update, blowing £1,000 on a mirror is mad. But something else I spotted last night is bothering me too. My dear man, what is this?
Well, it's a paper diary.
No, I know that, and that much I can see. But why, you've got a computer there, why are you not using that?
Because I just find it so much easier to work with.
Can I explain to you what this does not give you? This will not break down revenues for you. It will not tell you average spends.
Yeah.
It will not give you occupancy. The booking system is a tool which you cannot ignore.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's no way around it.
Yeah.
I said to you last night, what's your occupancy like? And you said about 60%. How do you work out your occupancy? Do you count up your number of room nights?
That was an estimate, yeah. So,
No wonder he's vague about the figures. Without a proper management system in place, everything is just guesswork. Systems are quite expensive, initial purchase-wise.
Yeah.
But you very quickly see the value of them.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, you know, can you see that if you had £1,000 to spend on that or on a mirror, then possibly you'd have made the wrong decision.
Yeah, sure.
I clearly need to sort out how Kazim prioritises his spending, but it would really help knowing exactly what it is he's trying to achieve here. So, let's start at the very beginning, which is, what do you want this place to be? Because when you bought it, you must have realised that this is never going to be the kind of place where people come and spend a weekend, necessarily.
Yeah, this is merely a convenient stopover. There are loads of other places in the area that sell their rooms at a budget price because they are of budget quality and standard. I've made mine premium and expensive, but I'm still selling the rooms at a budget price.
Offering a premium product in a crowded market where guests only want a bargain doesn't make sense. But his business model isn't the only thing that doesn't add up. You've got some figures for me. Is there anything that I can look at?
Yeah, sure. So there you go.
Thank you very much. So your cost of sales has jumped up considerably. Why is that? Do you know?
I'll have to look into that. I don't know offhand. Is that when you're buying more things? Is that what you mean?
He doesn't seem to understand even the most fundamental aspects of his finances. Do you know what it costs you to put on a room?
Oh, probably about £10.
A bit more than that, probably, darling. I'm sure he's woefully underestimating outgoings. Worse still, that makes it impossible to keep track of his profit margin when he has to reduce his rates. When I come here next, I would like you to be able to say to me, right, I've worked it out. I can open a door to a room for 20 quid and know that I'm going to make 20 quid net profit.
Yeah.
It's clear Kazim needs to get a grip on his figures. But if I'm to help make this place a success, First, I will need to tackle the disjointed decor and confused identity. It's inescapable that this is a guest house still of two halves, and you've got to unify those halves.
Well, as you know, and I've said before, it is a work in progress. So there's only so much that I've been able to do at one time
But I understand, but I think that's because instead of doing a sweep through and bring it all up to a kind of half-decent level, and then adding the frills, you've tried to go from there to there in one leap, and that's quite a big leap to make.
Well, I would have rather done a big leap than to have done a little bit of an update. I don't like to go half-heartedly. If I want to do something, I do it properly.
But your clientele now doesn't know whether you're fish or fowl, and that's very problematic. The biggest issue is the drab breakfast room. The last impression for guests has to be as good as the first, so I want to give it a modern makeover with new furniture, flooring, and a bold colour scheme inspired by the hall. I'm going to make this so that it is much smarter, much more in keeping with that side, probably not quite such an elevated level, because it's a room that gets a lot of use. It's got to be able to be freshened regularly. His interior design isn't the only issue if Kazim wants to offer a premium guest experience. I want him to upgrade the food too. I mean, I absolutely hate the backdrop is an impressive start to the day. No.
I thought that was quite good, actually.
Well, it's terribly romantic, but it bears very little relation to reality. You know, the kind of impressive style. Yeah. You know, darling, I know what an impressive breakfast is. This is fine, what you're offering.
But it's not impressive.
But I'm not done yet. Upstairs, I have another task I want Kazim to tackle. His tired room 7. I would like to take this room, and without spending £2,000, I want you to give it a refresh.
Sure.
Change the wall colour, get rid of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Until he can afford to bring everything up to the same standard, he has to go some way to address the disparity in the decor. I want you to make it so that you don't walk in off that corridor and for you to feel a sense of disappointment.
Yeah, definitely.
It needs to fit in better.
Yeah.
Making the lawn more appealing to guests when they get here is easy, but in such a competitive market, finding Kazim more of them isn't. There's a lot to do and a very confused product to work with.
You know, it's tough because, you know, you're always trying to make improvements, you're trying to, make things better. But now I'm at a point where my communal areas are better than my bedrooms, or some of them.
I still haven't quite worked out how I'm going to get more people here. But what I know is I can't get more people. There's no way to me to get more people unless, you know, everything about this place hangs together. At the lawn near Gatwick, with 14 B&Bs on his street alone, owner Kazim's caught up in a cutthroat contest for a share of the airline passenger trade. I am seeing just how much competition Kazim has. There are so many bed and breakfasts offering cheap accommodation for people travelling through Gatwick. It seems to me that, you know, they're all fighting each other for customers, and so it's a race to the bottom in terms of room prices. You know, you panic if you see your competitors taking £2 off a room, and so you drop your room price too. It's not an easy way to make money. It's really obvious to me that Kazim has got to find another customer base, that he can't rely on this Gatwick transfer base because so many other people are attempting to get exactly that group of customers. You know, he needs to widen his appeal. And I have a plan I hope will bring in a new kind of guest who might also be willing to pay a little more for his premium experience. So I'm making a flying visit to Sussex to get Kazim on board. Will you come this way with me, please, sir?
Yep.
You know, we both know that you've got a lot of competition along this street. Everything that you've said so far is posited on the trade that you already get, which is the overnight airport trade.
Yeah.
We need to look outside that market. How much do you know about the larger business community in your area? How much knocking on doors have you done? How much introducing?
The truth is that I haven't that's a weakness that we need to look at and to improve on.
Attracted by the airport, some of the UK's largest companies are based right on his doorstep, which means a potentially lucrative stream of visiting staff and customers looking for rooms. Look up the 20 biggest businesses around you.
Yeah.
Find out the name of the managing director's PA,
Yeah.
and you send her a covering letter with some information about your place, offering her a corporate rate.
Yeah, I already know that there are loads here, so I'm going to get on to that. Yeah, definitely.
Getting more guests isn't the only issue. While I'm here, I want to know if he's got to grips with his outgoings, so we can work out if he's making money from the ones he has. I really want to know the cost of putting on a room. Do you know that yet? Have you
Yes,
worked that
I did
out?
work that out, yeah. It was £4.07 worth of laundry.
Gosh,
so
that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Which is a good reason to try and get more trade other than your one-night stays.
Yeah, because then you're not changing the sheets every day.
Yeah. And laundry's only one expense Kazim's just been guessing at until now.
Tea and coffee tray, loo roll, shower gel, was £2.50, and breakfast for two, cost-wise, was £2.50. Cleaning, 40 minutes, about £6, so it came to about £15.
That's 50% more than his original guesstimate, but I've spotted another huge hole in his maths. If you look at the combined cost of your mortgage, your business rates and all your utilities and divide them per room, it'd be interesting to know what profit you come out with. So let's £22 plus £15, 37 quid. It means that every time you're opening a door for £50 room, you're making 13 quid. You know, and that's before you've paid yourself anything at all. The reality is, he actually can't afford to reduce rates to compete with his neighbours.
VAT.
Yeah, minus 20%. So
Commission.
Oh yes, minus another 20%.
Not making any money.
It's even more vital he becomes less reliant on his existing passenger trade. But there's something else I want him to stop relying on too, his antiquated paper diary. It's really important that you become more financially savvy.
Yeah.
Just with more information at your fingertips. You know the booking system I was talking to you about?
Yes.
Have you done any research into it?
Yes.
Are you any further along?
So I've contacted one property management system company who I'm going to see personally in a couple of weeks' time.
Good. All right, thanks,
Thank
darling.
you.
Bye. It's a good start, but he still has a lot to do. And determined not to let the grass grow under his feet, Kazim wastes no time getting stuck into selling the lawn to potential new business customers.
My pleasure. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.
But once he starts work updating the tired decor in room 7...
I'm not too keen on any of these photos, actually. I think that might be Henry VIII. That's not actually somebody else, but it could be him. Could be his brother. Oh! God, that's heavy, isn't it?
He seems much less committed to the plan.
And I know what Alex was saying was that we need to be able to do a room so it's still, you know, nice, but we're spending a fraction of the cost. But for me, it's not to my taste at all. Last time this room was decorated would have been about 8 years ago, and all I did is I just painted this wall. I have an expensive taste, so this is basic. You get what you pay for. I've decided that I'm not enjoying this anymore.
At least he seems to be more pleased with his efforts to upgrade the bland breakfast with a more inspiring alternative.
So today I have some sour bread. Avocados are very much an in thing at the moment for breakfast. That's a step up, just a premium kind of feel to it. Looks good. Happy.
A few weeks later, I'm back at the lawn to check on progress. And Kazim certainly seems very upbeat.
I am looking forward to seeing Alex today. I've got my favourite shirt on, so I'm dressed to impress.
Hi.
Hello, good morning.
How are you? Barely through the door, he can't wait to share some very impressive news about our plan to target major businesses based near the airport.
So I've approached a company on this road down there, and they have got given me more bookings. I've given
they?
them a corporate rate of £55 a night. I'm in touch with Nestle, which is in Gatwick City Place, and I'm still working on that. I haven't got much more with that yet.
It takes a while to get in to see any of these people.
Yeah.
That's something I can definitely help him with. But there's something else I need to know he's fixed first. I'd like to see room 7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah? Are you happy to do that?
Yes.
Hopefully he's risen to my challenge and realised he can bring his unrenovated rooms up to a better standard without spending a fortune. Oh my gosh, this looks much better. I'm impressed, but Kazim's clearly taking no chances. I like the fact that there's still a label on the cushion. Shall I take that off for you? This is nice.
Yeah.
I think you did a good job. Nice colour
Yeah.
on the walls. This is nice and plain.
Yeah.
Much more modern taste.
Yeah.
You've taken down the swing doors.
Yeah.
It's more in keeping with the refurbished areas and less likely to leave guests disappointed. But old habits die hard.
Yes, it looks better than before.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you have a bit of an expensive taste, and yeah, this looks fine for now.
I know that you're not convinced. The main aim should be to maximise your revenue, to maximise your occupancy and to spend a bit less. What would be lovely is that every room is more or less telling the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm not sure he's sold on my plan to give the unrenovated rooms a lift, but at least he's in no doubt about the benefits of marketing the B&B to corporate guests.
I'm much more positive with where we are. We're pitching to businesses that we hadn't done, that we can get that extra business.
I think he has made a decision about what he needs to do, and I think he's determined to do it. And I'm determined to help him. So a few days later, I text Kazim with the first stage of a plan I hope will take his efforts to the next level.
I've arranged for you to meet at Virgin HQ. It will be a great opportunity to learn from world leaders in hospitality. Best get a move on, they are expecting your arrival. Alex. Oh, let's go.
I've used my little black book and called in a big favour to get him through the door of one of the UK's best-known brands. And it's only 5 minutes away.
Hello.
Hi, Kazim.
Nice to meet you.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
If you'd like to follow me, I'll take you through to our training centre.
The facility here welcomes thousands of trainees a year, and they all need somewhere to stay for weeks at a time. So I've arranged for Kazim to meet some of them to find out more.
What is it that you actually look for in a hotel?
From our point of view, somewhere local to stay in between the training hours would be really helpful. Somewhere that's close by. Training can sometimes start from 7 o'clock in the morning.
We always look for accommodation that's crew friendly.
Yeah.
That's like our favourite little phrase. So definitely Wi-Fi, parking, somewhere warm and cosy, somewhere that's like a home from home.
Do they predominantly drive in, or do they get public transport?
If you're not driving your own car, then you're going to need good bus links or train links, but people will be as close to this building as possible.
Do you have a budget?
That's a massive factor, the cost. That's huge for us.
Okay, thank you once more time.
If Kazim can win even a tiny fraction of bookings from the trainees coming here, he'll be much less dependent on passenger trade.
They have 4,000 people that come here every year, so it's a great business opportunity to be able to get some of them into me, and then for me to look after them.
But how will he cope when I put the next stage of my plan into action?
I'm feeling nervous. Another thing, I think that's something that is really important for...
It's my final visit to the lawn, and time for the second stage of a plan I hope will win owner Kazim much-needed bookings from Virgin's training base just down the road.
Alex has asked me to put a presentation together. I'm feeling nervous today.
I am giving him a golden opportunity. There are 4,000 people who attend there a year, and Kazim could potentially get on their radar as somewhere for these trainees to go and stay. So I've challenged him to put his fact-finding mission to good use and convince 3 very special guests the lawn is the perfect stopover for their staff.
I've come up with a few ideas, so hopefully I'll be able to pitch something that will be tailored to their needs.
Before they check in, though, there's been a major change here I can't wait to check out.
Can I help you?
Hi, Kazim, it's Alex.
Hi, Alex. I'll be with you right away. Alex is here.
Before, the tired breakfast room was drab, dated and totally at odds with the premium experience Kazim was trying to create. Now it's a light, bright, modern space to complement the elegant entrance. Replacing the old-fashioned furniture and flooring and using contemporary colours, my design's guaranteed to give guests a great start to the day.
It's transformed, darling. This is lovely. And you're happy with the chairs and the yellow. We thought of you. We picked up your accent colour.
Yeah. And I like splashes of bold colours, I do. So really, really pleased. I never in a million years would have thought that this room would have looked like this.
It isn't the only thing to get a modern upgrade. Someone's listened to my advice about the benefits of buying professional property management software.
So we're not going to have this massive paper diary anymore. Everything's going to be on the computer. So we've just had it set up. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still trying to put all of the bookings in. So I've invested in that as well. So I'll show it to you. It's just here.
Kazim, I'm so excited. I can't believe you've actually made this jump. I think this is going to be good because also the busier you are, the more important it becomes. I mean, literally. And hopefully it'll really help you maximise your revenue. So I'm incredibly excited.
It'll take the guesswork out of everything. And with Kazim already marketing the B&B to local businesses, it isn't a minute too soon.
So I approached a couple of places in Hawley, just in the town there, and we've managed to get a corporate rate with them. So we've already seen a massive amount of increase in bookings from one company, and the other one we had a recent booking of 4 days. So we're going to be continuing that relationship with the 4-day booking one to try and keep that business coming in.
I'm impressed. Longer stays will reduce his daily changeover costs, which means better profit margins too.
So we've got a few people coming from Virgin who are going to be key about helping you fill your rooms, hopefully.
Lovely.
I know that you're prepared for this because I did inform you, but this is a chance of getting a lot of new business.
Yeah, lovely.
We need to make a good impression.
Yeah.
With thousands of staff coming for up to 6 weeks at a time, there's a lot at stake, including my reputation. Let's hope Kazim's done his homework.
He's going to have to make it bloody appealing, his offer, because anybody would kill for the kind of levels of business that they have available.
Okay, so try and get maximum amount of light in. Open the windows a bit.
He's got to hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, happy with that.
Good reviews from Daniel, Vice President of Virgin's Customer Experience Team, Flight Service Manager Craig and Cabin Crew Rep Charlene could send his occupancy sky high.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Charlene,
Thank
nice to
you
meet you.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming to help me.
Hello there,
Hi,
nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Alex, Daniel.
Daniel, so
Hi.
nice to meet you. Thank you.
Wow.
The first of Kazim's scheduled stops today are the rooms.
Please follow me, I'll show you up.
But unsurprisingly, the hall's already making a great first impression.
I love this carpet.
Thank you.
This is great.
Come on in.
Oh, wow. Thank you. It's really big. Very bright, too.
Love the fireplace.
Very nice and bright.
That's nice.
All of the rooms have refurbished bathrooms.
And they all have a private ensuite then?
Yeah, all of my rooms are en suite.
With their trainees potentially coming for longer stays, though,
Oh, very nice.
Come on in, please.
I'm pleased to see he hasn't just thought about the in-room amenities.
So the train station is really close. You've got bus routes coming down and going to the airport.
Going to the airport as well.
Yeah, and then also, if you come out of here and turn left, about a minute's walk and you're in the town. So you've got loads of restaurants over there.
He's charming. He's good with people. He's nice. The place is nice. I don't think they can criticise the quality of the room, certainly.
That's certainly true of their next destination, the renovated breakfast room.
It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely.
I just have to hope Kazim's new breakfast is just as good.
That looks great.
There you go.
I love the
Enjoy your breakfast. Oh, thank you so much.
The food's gone down well, so the pressure's on Kazim to deliver a great presentation to match.
So things that I thought about was offering a flexible check-in approach, because I know that some of your guys are going to be coming in at different times. Another thing that I think was really key is a complimentary transfer, either to Gatwick Airport, the local train station here, or the base in Manor Royal.
And the beauty here is that you're only actually about 5 minutes from our office. Too.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's not very far at all. So another thing, I think that's something that is really important for cabin crew when they are when they're off duty or they're studying, is to have real speedy Wi-Fi. Now, what we offer is super fast broadband here.
Yeah.
So there'll be no or minimal lag time. Your Wi-Fi experience will be much better, much more pleasant.
And it's free, is it?
And it's free.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's clearly nervous, but it's obvious he's thought about tailoring stays to suit their staff.
Two things that we're looking for are consistency and personalization. And to have that consistent product, the great design, really comfortable beds, a great breakfast, really high-speed internet, he's got those attributes there.
There's one more factor he has to pitch right, though.
Lastly, it was just the rate that I was going to talk to you about. I mean, I've been thinking about this. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was thinking about it overnight. So it's been, it's £50 a night, and £55 with breakfast. So if you share the room, then it'd be £25 per person. So yeah. Thank you very much. I have for you these little goodie bags. That's for you, ladies first, of course.
What really sells this place to me is Kazim himself. He just seems like the kind of guy that would do anything for you. Nothing's too much trouble. And that's nice because you don't get that in a hotel as well. It's much more personal experience, I think. So I personally would definitely stay here, I think. So.
It's a fantastic result, with the potential to bring Kazim huge numbers of new bookings, making him much less reliant on the passenger trade.
So, we've almost come to the end of this process. And the thing that I'm most pleased about, frankly, is that there's a good identity now. I thought it was a bit confused to start with.
It was definitely confused. I'm lost for words with what's happened, and it's all just feels so surreal. So I needed that extra help. I needed that kick up the bum and just sort of get something to get me to that next level, and we've achieved it.
Before I go, I've brought Kazim to Gatwick for one final surprise I hope will also help him stand out in the fight for the flight market too.
Keep your eyes on that screen there.
Wow, that's so cool, isn't it?
If that doesn't get you some business, I don't know what will.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Good, huh?
Yeah. I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless. Honestly, I just didn't think that would happen.
I wanted us to end on a high, and I thought that was a really positive thing. So,
thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really miss you, and thank you for everything that you've done.
My pleasure, and I'll be back to see you and the lawn soon.
Yeah, I would love to see you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye. No, that was a surprise. That was really, really a surprise. I thought I was going to Costa, that's what you were saying. I thought they were going to tell me how to make coffee or something, you know. That's what, honestly, and to see this, right, it's absolutely amazing.
Over 400,000 people will see that sign over the course of the week. It's up for 10 seconds every minute. And if it gets him a tiny percentage of those passers-by staying, I'll have sorted out many of his problems.